What's up, dudes? I'm Inkslasher, and Operation Absolute Zero, the new event in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, has officially arrived, and with it, there is a new black market system. So today, I'm going to be showing you everything you can get from the new Contraband system, and I personally paid for everything to be unlocked, but by no means should you feel that that is necessary. In fact, with the new system, it's really easy to actually unlock everything simply by playing the game. So don't feel pressured at all. The only reason why I did is, number one, it's a tax write-off for me, lucky me, and number two, I want to bring you guys some content of some of the new items, so I thought I would buy them, that way I could show you as early as possible. But without further ado, let's hop into it and look at what you can actually get from the new black market system and actually how it works. So here it is, the new black market. They have added a lot of new items. On top of that, there is a completely new system. The first thing you should know is the Contraband system, aka supply stream, is no longer 200 tiers. Instead, it is now only 100 tiers. Now, if you get all 100 tiers, what happens afterwards is that is when you can unlock reserves. So reserves are after level 100. Before that, there are absolutely no reserves. All of these items you can actually completely see before you unlock them, and you know exactly what you are getting. On top of that, there are some new items like weapon camos. The one you're looking at here is called Kilobyte, and there are many of those throughout the supply stream. So I thought we'd go through and I'll just highlight what some of the best items you can actually unlock are. Starting with level 1, you get the new specialist character, Zero. So really, everyone should get that one pretty much instantly. After this, there is new reticles, of course, face paints, that's kind of to be expected, and then as we mentioned, there are new camos. One thing I think they did better with this supply stream compared to the first one is a lot of the character skins are a lot better. For example, this one for Ruin called Aurora looks way better than anything we had in the first season. After this, our next good item really isn't till level 10 when we get our dancing shoes gesture, which I always like to see good gestures be brought into the game. After that, we got a bunch of stickers and calling cards until level 15 when you get your first really awesome epic skin. This one's called Scorpion Queen. It is, of course, for the new character Zero, so you're going to be looking fly with that new specialist character right after level 15. After this, it's pretty much boring until level 20 when we get a new weapon camo. This one is specifically for the KN57 because it is a reactive camo, and it is called Plasma Drive. Personally, reactive camos are the better camos, but you only get them for an individual weapon. For example, this one is the KN57. So once again, the difference between a regular camo is that when you unlock those, they are for every weapon, whereas a reactive camo is for an individual weapon. On top of that, reactive camos just have a pretty much cooler aesthetic to them. After this, our next big item is at level 25, where we get our first new weapon. It's a melee weapon called Santa's Secret, and basically, it's a gift wrap ice pick, and I love this. I love to see Christmas items, and we also should be getting some more Christmas items for free on the 13th, as that's when they're adding in their new Christmas or holiday event. After this, we get a bunch of gestures starting at level 28. The first one is The Rock, which basically he plays rock, paper, scissors and holds out a rock. After that, you get Paper at level 29. And finally, at level 30, you get Scissors, which I think is hilarious. Now you can play some rock, paper, scissors in that pregame lobby for Blackout. After this, once again, you are looking at a lot more stickers and calling cards until you reach level 35. You may notice a little bit of a trend here. Every 5 levels, you get something pretty good. So for example, at level 35, you get a skin for Prophet. This one is called the ASP skin. Then after this, once again, going forward to level 40, another skin you get for Zero. This one's only a rare one. It is called Whitewash. It's one of the more boring skins for Zero. I believe this is actually the one she's wearing in the promotional material. After this, level 45, you get your first new Blackout character. This one is, of course, Nikolai. And I believe this is the first of 2 new Blackout characters you actually get during the supply stream. After this, level 47, Shadow Boxing. Once again, I think they're doing a pretty good job with the new gestures. It's hard to compete with the dances in Fortnite, but we'll see where they go with it. After this, one of my favorite skins, it's for Recon called Shogun, and honestly, I love this skin. It's probably going to be one of my most used ones. After this, moving forward to level 50, this is where we get our first ranged weapon, the Damon 3XB. This is a 3-round burst SMG. It has very, very low burst delay, so it still has a really good rate of fire, and I've only used this one in Blackout, and it was decent, so I can't wait to use this more in multiplayer. Level 51, you get the Urbania skin for Crash, and then at level 55, you once again unlock another skin called the Lachiuses. I may have butchered that, but this one is for Nomad. Now, you may be noticing that there's still a lot of stickers you are unlocking, and that sucks, but the other items you get are much better than I think the first season. Speaking of which, level 60 you get a new weapon camo. This one's called the Shimmer, and it is once again available for all weapons. Another thing I noticed is that they reduced the amount of face paints. It seemed like in season 1 there was just face paints every second level. There's still a lot of stickers, but much less face paints. After this, another absolutely amazing skin. This one is for Firebreak, and honestly, one of the best looking skins in the game. It doesn't even look like Firebreak anymore after this, but this one's called Dragon Slayer. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of this one in multiplayer, just because it looks so damn good. After this, at level 70, you once again unlock another reactive camo. This one is for the Spitfire. It is called Dogfight. Level 71, you get a new skin for Seraph. It is called Marauder. And then at level 75, you unlock your first signature weapon. This is called the Fighter Ace. It is for the ABR 223. And I believe this is actually the only signature weapon that is not in reserve for Operation Absolute Zero. Now, the next item is at level 80. This one is called Black Mamba. This one is for Ajax. I think this one's pretty good. I can't tell if this is just skin paint or in this skin he's got completely tattooed, but it looks pretty good. After this, once again, going forward 5 levels to 85, you have the Nebula skin for Zero. This is her best skin as of right now. It's really bright and vibrant, so you will stick out on maps, but I think it looks absolutely awesome, almost a little bit like Dark Matter. Going forward, we got next up level 88. This one is called Aftermath. It's for Torque. One of the more boring skins, if you ask me. And then at level 90, you get the nom 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 gesture. This one's awesome. You just sit back and eat a sandwich. After this, we only have 10 levels left, and the next big item is at 95. This is the second Blackout character you get, and this is Dempsey. And once again, it's one of his more old school looking skins, and I think he's looking pretty good here. And then finally, our last 2 big items are at level 98 and level 100. The one at 98 is called Queen's Guard. This one's for Battery, and once again, it's kind of going with that armor vibe that we saw before on Firebreak, looking absolutely awesome. And then at level 100, you get the final ranged weapon, the SWAT RFT, which the SWAT is kind of like a higher fire rate, low recoil, lower damage kind of assault rifle, similar to something like the ICR, but we're going to have to wait to see how it actually plays out. And then I mentioned after you hit level 100, the rest of the levels are all reserves, so it's just completely random what you get after that point. Now, the one other thing that I do have to point out is the Blackjack shop and special orders are still here. The one thing I've noticed right away is that the items in the Blackjack shop are instantly better. The first one that you have there is a reactive camo for the Koshka. It only costs $5, which I think is much better than what they had before. Then you get an outfit. This one is for Zero. This one's called the Sultana, and once again, the skin's looking on point. I think they did a really good job this season. Also, for $3, you can get the Cherry Blossom camo. This one is for all weapons, not just an individual weapon. Honestly, I think you're pretty much getting a better deal if you buy weapon camos as opposed to just a reactive camo. Yeah, the reactive camos look a little bit better, but at the same time, you get a lot more for your $3. New gestures, but the one thing I will say that is returning that I think is a little expensive is the special orders. There's 2 we got here. The first is the Valkyrie. It's $15, and essentially for this, you get a bunch of calling cards, but you get a skin for Ruin, which I'm not going to lie, it looks pretty damn good, but you also get the Valkyrie signature weapon for the Paladin. So it's $15, quite a bit of money, but you do get 2 pretty cool things. And then the second one is the Centurion. This one is for Ajax. With this one, you get a gesture called Battle Mug, which I think is a pretty good gesture, and you get his Centurion uniform and an actual face paint that looks pretty good too. So it's more expensive, and you actually do have to complete the tiers to actually get these, which is a little bit ridiculous, but they are at least adding better items that we had in Season 1. So the big question at this point is spending your money on the black market, specifically the tiers, worth it? And honestly, I don't think it is. The one thing you may notice is when you go in here, this event lasts for 69 days. Coincidence? I think not. Anyway, 69 days you have to unlock 100 tiers. Now, 100 tiers is a lot, but it's pretty much going at 1.5 tiers a day And I honestly think that's pretty simple, especially because they kept the daily tier skip, which all you have to do is either get a merit in Blackout or get your first win of the day in multiplayer. Honestly, I think the way that they have the system implemented now makes it so most of the players are going to unlock the 100 tiers, and then what you get after that point is completely random, which is, I think, honestly, a pretty good system to do it. That's why I didn't mind spending my money on this, is because they listened to what we wanted, put better items in the game, and fixed the black market system to make it more fair for the players. So yes, the Blackjack shop and the special orders are still expensive, but at this point, I think the Contraband tier system is actually a pretty good system. But if you disagree with me, let me know what you think down in the comments below. You've seen what you get for all of the tiers, so I'm curious what you think. Personally, I believe it is much better than the first season, but like I said, if you disagree with me, feel free to let me know what you think down in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notifications turned on to stay up to date with all the videos. But guys, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard.